Hi Facebook yogis. Today is day 4 of 10 days of Facebook yoga, and I hope you're enjoying the little bite-sized bits of yoga I am giving you every day. Now today, or this afternoon, I want to talk to you a little bit more about conditioning your lower back with back bends. Now when I start with beginners, we start with some very basic, very gentle back bends. A lot of people are frightened of back bends because the two words together, back and bend, might create an impression of a severe back bend, like the one which I started with, camel, which is quite a strong back bend. But I don't expect you to start with camel. What I'd like for you to do is to lie down flat on your tummy. And we're going to do 2 postures today. I'm going to talk you through Bhujangasana, which is Cobra. And then from Cobra pose, we're going to take it a little bit further into Sphinx. Now, back bends are not actually back bends at all. Back bends come from this part of your body, which is really the upper glutes. Gluteus medius is the main muscle we use to lift our upper bodies, and it comes from this part of your body here. So it's perceived as the lower back, but really it is the upper bum, if you like. So for Cobra pose, I often see all sorts of weird and wonderful things going on with Cobra. What you need in Cobra is to start lying flat with a very straight, long spine. Bring your hands onto the floor so that the tips of your fingers are just below the shoulders, and then draw your elbows strongly into your body. Now release your nose onto the mat, squeeze your bottom, squeeze your knees, and then very slowly begin to peel your upper body off the mat. You should be able to stay here without the hands. So Cobra is not about hands at all. The hands are there just purely for stability. Now to move this into Sphinx pose, simply creep your fingers forward. You'll feel you're coming into a slightly deeper back bend now, with the elbows pressing down. The fingertips are reaching straight forward, parallel to the edges of your mat. And Sphinx allows you to press the elbows down, inward rotate into thumb and forefinger, squeeze your bum and see if you can lift perhaps 1 or 2 more ribs off the mat. If you feel yourself beginning to sag, which is perhaps a little bit of weakness in the upper body, press your elbows down and lift that lower belly off the mat. And there we are in Sphinx. So a third easy back bend, which is great to condition your upper body, because all the way through this you're obviously squeezing your butt like mad, is to turn your thumbs out so that you can see a straight line from tips of thumbs to the elbows. And on an exhale, very slowly straighten your arms. And this pose is called seal because your hands now look like seal flippers in the front of you, ahead of you, and very gently pressing up, keeping that rounding of the shoulders, proud posture with the collarbones parallel to the floor, and squeezing your bottom. You'll feel that by squeezing your bottom, you're really allowing your spine to elongate, and the muscles in your bottom is helping your body to move. To come out of the pose, simply release your elbows down to the mat. And here's your challenge. If you can go by bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders, tucking the toes, and lifting all the way up into downward facing dog as a counter pose. With yoga, we always work with expansion and contraction, with opening and closing. And of course, whilst we're in our postures, I'll show you what Sphinx looks like from the front. So in Sphinx, you can see how the muscles in my chest is working. I'm not sagging down in Sphinx, my wrists are heading forward, and I'm pressing the floor away with my elbows. So I'm engaging the muscles between my shoulder blades. And that's the beauty of these back bends, because you're not actually only using the muscles in your lower back. You're using the muscles in your chest, you're using the muscles in your abdominals, and that's where the strong conditioning comes from, which is so beneficial for your body, because as the old saying goes, the hip bone's connected to the thigh bone. Everything in your body is connected. And when there is any movement in your body, like a back bend, which in fact is not a back bend at all, it's an extension of the spine through using the muscles in the upper body, the core and the bottom, suddenly you realize that I'm not really creating a back bend at all. I'm using the rest of my body to condition and lengthen my spine, which takes away the fear of back bends altogether. And when we come from sometimes the strength of a back bend, where your spine is in an extended position like that, into downward facing dog, we contract and we expand the muscles, so the muscles get to move in their full range of motion. And that is what gives you the real benefit of core strengthening and strengthening the lumbar area of your back to avoid back pain. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of Yoga Bite for today. Tomorrow I'll be talking about standing, and particularly I'll be visiting tree pose, which is a very common yoga pose, but one where I often see really bad alignment, which are almost counter beneficial to what the posture really offers. So if you have any questions, by all means, pop me a little message in the comments box or send me an email. And whatever happens, I wish you a lovely evening. And from tomorrow we'll be on day 5 of 10 days of Facebook yoga. Namaste.